You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV. He's absolutely Jason, he's absolutely gay. He'll absolutely brighten up the darkest rainy day. He's funny and loves movies, he's smart and he's a Jew. He's an actor and an activist and wants to hear from you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Absolutely Jason Stuart, and I'm here with my really good friend, comedian, God extraordinaire, Wendy Liebman. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jason, I love you.
Aww. So, I mean, the list of credits, I think you're probably one of the most accomplished stand-up comics.
Who doesn't have a sitcom?
Well, no one has a sitcom anymore because there are no more sitcoms unless you're on TV Land and some old star that had a sitcom before. So to have your own comedy show. But you really are. I mean, you've had your own hour special, which was incredibly successful on Showtime, called Wendy Liebman, I'm Taller on TV?
Just taller on TV.
Just taller on TV.
Because every single person who meets me in real life says, oh my God, you look so much taller on TV. Like, 'cause I'm 5'2".
Uh-huh.
But I guess
well,
I look
because you're by yourself,
6'2".
there's no one to compare to.
I know, but is that a good thing or a bad? Like, maybe I should have a height chart behind me like they do at 7-Eleven.
But it was an incredible special.
Thank
I mean,
you
I think
so
it was one of the
much.
best ones. And your husband
Wow.
produced it with you,
He
which I thought
did.
was really wonderful.
And John Landis.
And John Landis directed it from
Well,
Blues
I
Brothers.
directed it.
But John Landis was one of the producers.
Yeah.
But he really helped a lot.
He did.
And I just think, wow.
Yeah, I know.
mean, you know, John Landis.
Pinch me.
Yeah. Who directed Animal House and the Blues Brothers. And
Trading Places.
And so many wonderful, incredible films.
And Wendy Liebman Taller on TV. Oh, well,
Exactly.
he produced it.
Well, I met him several times. He was doing a film called Into the Night with Michelle Pfeiffer, and I actually read for the part of a Elvis impersonator, and he was so great with me, and he knew that I was funny, so he encouraged me. It was one of my favorite auditions.
Well, he loves comics.
Yeah, one of my favorite auditions.
He also did Dream On.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the HBO special.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my Showtime special, we shot it, and
You did everything.
we did it without knowing that we were going to sell it anywhere.
Oh, I know
so
you
it
would.
was like
I remember we talked
out
about
of
this.
pocket.
Because I was at your house, and your husband showed me some clips, and this was brilliant.
Right. Well,
so wonderfully done.
the best part about it was I included my family in it. It wasn't just straight stand-up. It was like I wrote a script, and my parents were in the audience. And then at one point, Jeff, my husband, had my mother wheeled out on a drum set.
Yeah, I know.
She's behind me playing the drums. And I go, this is why I'm a comedian, because my mom is a kick-ass drummer.
And my mother was great at having affairs. But you know.
I met your mom. I met your mom in Palm Springs.
Uh-huh.
She is a hoot. We
headlined a casino together.
That's right, in Palm
For
Springs.
Bruce Fine.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there was a menu. It was dark in the restaurant that I guess you invited us there.
No, Bruce would have a dinner before for all the
right.
comedians.
That's right.
Was it
And
before or after? I can't remember. I think
it was before.
Oh. Oh, no. Yeah,
No,
is
it was
after.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I usually eat it on stage. And no.
No, you do not.
So then it was dark in the restaurant, but you opened the menu and it was like,
oh yeah, and she
"Ta-da!"
was like,
and the lights at the menus were lit.
And my mother wanted one of those at home, so she put it in her purse and she stole it.
Your mother's hilarious.
We have that in the house now.
Oh my God.
And
Well, my mom, she's not to be a bummer. She's in the hospital.
Oh.
Well, she's a doctor. So.
My mother was a beautician. And never finished Fear of Flying. It was on her nightstand for 10 years. She never finished the book.
You're
God.
hilarious. No, my mom is not a doctor. My mom was an early childhood educator, but
Of
she
course.
was. But she was.
My mother
in the
never finished
hospital.
high school because she was pregnant with my brother. She fell in the shower. That's what she said. Go ahead.
You need to play your mother on a sitcom.
Oh, yeah, and you need to
Right?
play yours.
Oh no, please.
Mitzi Shore had us work on a play once called Mahjong. Mitzi Shore, who owns the Comedy Store, and a bunch of comedians. We worked on it for like a year, and we all played our mothers. It was hysterically funny.
That is Louis Anderson is playing Zach Galifianakis'
Mom
mother.
on Baskets.
Baskets,
I mean,
hilarious.
can you believe this?
I
And
heard
he's
the
so
story of how
good.
that
How
happened.
tell us.
Well, I heard the story that Zach wanted this old improv actress, British, Blethyn,
Oh, Deborah. Yes, Brenda Blethyn.
I think.
Yes,
I hope
she's
I'm not mixing up my
Oscar-nominated
story.
actress.
Right,
Little
but
Voice,
she was busy.
Secrets and Lies.
So
Yeah, yeah.
So he was describing the voice he heard of the mother to the director, Louis C.K. And Louis thought about it, and he was like, "You mean like Louis Anderson?" And Zach said, "Yeah."
That's so funny.
And
And he does it without any sort of inflection, and he wears his wig, and
it's hilarious. I
it's
love
just
Louis Anderson.
oh my God, I was so happy, and I thought how interesting.
So my mom, at 80 years old, had a benign brain tumor. So,
Oh,
and it was
dear.
affecting the way that she walked. She couldn't use one of her legs. So they removed it, and when she came to, she was still on the anesthesia. They said, "Tony," that's her name, "Tony, can you lift your leg?" And she goes, "Is there a hydrant?" And she doesn't remember saying that. She also doesn't remember that I was there. So I didn't even have to come in from
My mother, for most of my
California.
childhood, didn't remember I was there.
That's why we're comedians.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because
So-
you had a lot of time with the butcher, her second husband. But go
Oh.
ahead.
So they said, "Tony, can you lift your leg?" And she goes like that. She couldn't lift it before. It was like can I swear on this?
Yeah.
It was a fucking miracle.
Oh my God.
Like, modern medicine is miraculous. So she's like,
I'm so happy.
she's spry. She goes to
on
the
wood.
gym now.
Oh wow.
She's incredible.
My mother has a little arthritis in the days over. Her hair doesn't turn out right. It's sad. Not enough men call her, and it's like, oh my God.
Is she like Dubois?
No, more like Renee Taylor
Okay.
and Barbara Streisand with a little Marilyn Monroe thrown in, and then a touch of Aurora from Terms of Endearment and a touch of Mary Tyler Moore from Ordinary People. But other than that, she's just like all the other moms
To
on
me,
television.
she just seemed like Donna Reed
Oh, please, please.
when I met her.
With that tight outfit and the boobs pushed up so high she couldn't breathe. They were so high, I think they were like, we couldn't even see her face.
Were they real?
Oh, God. Well, no.
Okay.
She said she paid for them.
Really?
Her second husband. But she had to pay for the second pair when she had it redone. And, of course, I had to go with her. It's just...
That's traumatizing.
Oh, please. Traumatizing. I have nothing.
I don't want to get plastic surgery. I'm thinking
shouldn't.
about artificial intelligence, though. But no, I need.
You don't need anything.
No, I will. And I certainly will need to start dyeing my tinsel hair. But I have this aversion to doing that.
Well, because it's fake. And what it does is it says that who we are getting older. Like we were before you got here earlier, we were talking about just being comedians and getting older and falling out of the clubs and them not thinking we're the most hip and cool. But yet I'm selling out in Palm Springs every week, and I'm selling out at other.
Well, you've always sold out.
No.
No, I mean, you're a sellout.
Yes,
No,
thank you. Thank you so
Well,
much.
I'm going to just shave my head like you did. That's.
Seriously?
No.
Oh, God. But you do a show every week. Where is it?
No, it's once a month.
Once a month, I'm sorry.
At
Vitello's.
a restaurant called Vitello's in Studio City.
But it's
an Italian
upstairs in the
restaurant.
Sheena Easton room?
Well, it's called the E Spot Lounge, and it's called the E Spot. It was Sheena Easton's room.
Oh.
Not Sheena Easton. Sheila E.
Sheila E.
Sheila
We
E.
are old.
I know.
And you went along with it.
I
which
opened for Sheena Easton once,
Did
and
you?
that's why. Yes.
But she doesn't own the room anymore? Or is that
Sheila E. Well, it was her room to
Working.
book,
Uh-huh.
and I guess their contract was for a year, and that's why they called it the E Spot Lounge. But I thought they were going to call it the G Spot Lounge, but none of the guys would have found it. But anyway, my show is called Locally Grown Comedy, and I've had everybody there
Oh,
from
my
Alan
God.
Havey to George Lopez and
Did George do it?
Cedric the Entertainer, Arsenio Hall, Tig Notaro was there last night.
Did they
An-
go for Tig?
Yeah,
Oh,
she
okay.
Anthony Griffith.
Oh, I love Anthony.
He had hands down one. You had a great set too.
I had fun.
You two had two of the greatest sets there,
No.
and Dennis Regan. Yeah.
Oh,
But it's a different kind of gig for me in that I host the show, and I really feel like the host. Like, I want to make everybody happy and comfortable. And
See, I don't when I've hosted shows. I want to make them uncomfortable. I want to make them sit on the edge of their seat, and not know what's going to happen. That's why we're sort of a really good combination. We've done a couple shows together, and I hope to do more with you.
let's do it.
I would love it. I would love it. So I'm gonna come. Why don't we put on? We only have 1 minute. We'll come back. I want to show a clip from you on America's Got Talent, and then I want to talk about that whole experience, because I
Okay.
think it was really sort of a cool, interesting, kind of smart thing to do. We're here with my friend comedian Wendy Liebman. Please stay with us. Don't change that channel. Oh my God, there's no more channels. We'll be back in just a minute.
You are watching T Radio V. Radio in TV.
Hey geeks, wake up! We got big news. I'm not gonna mumble this time. Geekscape, the long-running movie video game. Let me do one more. Hey geeks, we got big news! Geekscape, your favorite show about movies, video games, comics, and TV, is coming to T Radio V Monday, October 6th. And it'll be on every Monday from then on, 7 p.m. Until the apocalypse happens, we're all eaten by zombies.
Hey, my fellow thoughters out there. I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought, with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. So tune in, grab your phones, call me, tweet me, email me in the studio, and let's get this conversation going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. That's radio in TV.
I'm Laura Samoza,
I'm Sterling Gardner.
and we are Between the Sheets every Monday here, 3 p.m. TRadioV.com.
T Radio V.
That's right, it's T Radio V, radio in TV. What is that face?
She wants to see our hands.
That's radio in TV. Wah, 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 wah.
We're not a couple.
Hey, what's up? It's Tom Logan in the house, and you're tuned into T Radio V.
You are watching T Radio V. Radio in TV.
I'm Wendy Liebman. I'm 53, but I'm very immature. I've been doing comedy for more than 25 years.
Why do you think we haven't heard of you before? How long you been at this?
Well, I took some time off to raise a family.
And you made that decision, I'm going to stay home with my kids and I'm going to put my dreams aside.
That's right. My kids, they are my heart. So I worked a lot less, and I didn't perform every night like I used to. So this is really a second chance for me. I'm really coming on the show to be validated, and you do validate parking, right? Could I approach the bench, come a little closer?
Come up
Okay.
a little closer.
Be more intimate?
Yeah,
Okay.
the stage is yours.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me back, all of you. I didn't know what to wear, obviously. I never know what to wear. I got an obscene phone call, and the guy was like, "What are you wearing? What are you wearing?" And I'm like, "I can't decide." Hello? He got off the phone. My husband, he snores, so I got him that special contoured pillow, and I held it over his head. I've been married about 11 years, and my husband says that I nag him, and I'm like, "Honey, I will make a deal with you. I won't nag you if you listen to me the first freaking time." So in the hotel here, somebody left that book, 50 Shades of Grey, and I haven't read that because it's about kinky stuff, and I'm not into reading. So, although I am reading some fiction right now, it's called The Joy of Cooking. The kinkiest thing I've ever done is my husband asked me to dress up for him
as a nurse, because that's his fantasy, you know, that we have health care. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Hey, you. Thanks for stopping by.
Back. Wendy Liebman, America's Got Talent. So what happened? How did this come about? Tell the whole story. This is fascinating because certainly 10 times on the Letterman show, another couple times on Tonight Show. You've done every major talk show. You were Rosie O'Donnell's first guest, one of her first comedians on her show.
Well, you got on me for doing this show. And you said that I had taken time off.
Yes.
Well, I hadn't. I said
it was like really weird.
I
the way
said I went from being in the fast lane.
When they say about when she says I got on her, what I meant was they made it sound like you'd gone away for a couple years and quit the business, and you hadn't. You did your stand-up special, which was incredibly successful.
Well, they do this for TV.
Yeah, they want to make it seem like you just fell down the toilet and then you're coming back and America's Got Talent.
But that's not how I portrayed myself.
No,
because I never stopped doing it, but I did slow down to raise my stepsons, and they were 4 and 8 when I met them. Now they're 21 and 25, but almost 21. But really what happened was I was in a car accident. You knew this.
Yes.
And my husband and I were hit by a drunk driver, and 7 cars were totaled, and there was 1 fatality, and it was the woman in the car right next to me. And if she hadn't been there, the guy would have hit me. And it really was this moment. You know, you have some crossroads in your life. Mm-hmm. And I sat on the side on the bus bench waiting for the cops, and my first thought was, God, I should have eaten dessert. And then I thought, no, I really thought I have to get back out there. Like, life can be over in an instant, and you never know. So I have to do my art, be myself, do it. And I had already applied to be on America's Got Talent, but I really pushed for it then.
How did you do that?
I knew Howie Mandel, so he had given me information on how to audition. And so,
what did he tell you? What was the scoop on that?
He got me an audition.
Wow.
So he was not allowed to vote.
Of course.
And he had to disclose to the world that he knew me, because I had written for him once.
Uh-huh.
He had to tell.
The sweetest, nicest man.
He's hilarious.
I did a talk show with him and Sheena Easton in Vegas.
You did?
He was the guest host. It was Brian McAdams. It was a show called The Vegas Show.
Yeah. No, he's a sweetheart. So he couldn't vote for me, and he had to disclose that we knew each other previously. But, so I just went full throttle. It was like sometimes you just get lit from below. You're like turbocharged to do your life. And that was that defining moment for me.
So you went and did the audition, which we just saw.
So I did the audition. That was the second audition. The first audition didn't even go well.
Oh, wow.
It's
very weird for a comedian. People don't know that you're auditioning in a room and there's no one there. Because I've auditioned.
No. The first audition, there were people there.
Oh, there were? Because I did the audition. I've done it twice.
For America's Got Talent?
Once I didn't have to audition, I was given the contract, which was 500 pages long. and I was asked to be on the show. And then they decided not to use me. And then I auditioned in person for the show.
Well, there was another comedian, Jody Miller, who...
Oh, she's wonderful.
She got a standing ovation from all 4 judges, and for some reason they didn't put her through.
Crazy.
Well, this is what we were talking about a moment ago. She didn't have that story that she was the housewife who went back to raise her children. So I don't know what her story was, but it didn't fit. It's casting.
So it's not real.
Well, no, it's real in that they chose me. Uh-huh. But it's not real in that, I don't know what's not real, other than that she should have gone through.
Yes.
And I'm not saying I shouldn't have gone through, but I'm saying she definitely should have gone through.
And also the casting, they want one woman. They decide, it's like this whole thing, one of these.
Well, there were 2 women.
Yeah,
Rachel
what I mean.
Butera was the other woman who went through, and she's a great, great impersonator. And she's one of the greatest things that came out of that whole experience for me. I mean, I met the greatest people. I met Matt Franco, who now stars in his own Vegas showroom that they built for him at the Lynx Hotel or the
Wow.
Lynx. He's a magician. He's just a phenomenal human being, and he deserved to win the whole year. He did. And then there was a band early on called Beach Avenue, and it was 3 guys, and they couldn't have been greater, and they were eliminated, but the lead singer went on to win American Idol the following year.
It doesn't really matter about winning or losing. I mean, it was.
It doesn't.
I don't think so. I think it's about being. You were on the show 5 times.
Something like that.
Yeah, and it's being on network television, prime
Right.
time, 5 times in a row, and one of the most popular.
Well, the
shows.
clip that you showed was for the judges. They decided they didn't want an audience that night. So that
They
was
decided they didn't want an audience that night.
they wanted that second round to be just for the just for the judges. So
Oh, how
as a
crazy.
comedian,
Anybody, even just to feed off the audience. I mean,
Right.
for us, the most, but.
but I heard the crew laughing behind the set, and so that made me feel better. And I was up first, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with it, because life is
Nothing you can do.
people throw things at you all the time, and I was just like, I'm gonna take this by the horns.
Yeah,
I
that's
was gonna say balls, but
could say
and
balls.
what I said was, could I stand a little closer to you guys? So I like tried to get in their face a little bit, and it worked. And then each comedian after me stood a little closer because they saw that worked a little better.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
God, I just can't even imagine.
But okay, here's the thing. Aren't there things in your life that you look back on, you're like, I don't know why I did that. I don't know how
Oh,
that
God,
got
yeah.
done. That was one
Well,
of
this
those.
movie, Birth of a Nation, I still think about it. I think, how did I get this part? How did I get to play a plantation owner in 1831? How did they cast me?
Well, I read your letter. Remember I commented
Yes,
on it?
I wrote a letter.
was
For those
so
at home don't know, I
moved.
wrote a letter called Showing Up and Full of Gratitude for my column on Huffington Post. And you just click on jasonstuart.com, Stuart, and you click on Huffington Post, and it's the first piece that I wrote. Yeah, I wrote a letter about showing up and full of gratitude.
Because the way that you got to that was so circuitous, right? And it was your life your cumulative actions brought you to that, and it's so well deserved. And I was so touched by that letter. I reposted it on my Facebook page.
Oh, thank you.
But you saw that, 'cause
Yes,
you
I
wrote
did.
back to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, being on America's Talent was one of those things.
Same
I
kind of
knew
thing. You
I
just-
had to do it,
Yeah.
but I don't remember all the in-between steps exactly.
Now, when you were on the show, we'll come back and we'll talk about it, just what it felt like to have, that's an incredibly large crowd, isn't it?
Well, I have performed not for that many people, more once or twice in my life I have, but there were 5,000 people there.
Wow.
So
It's crazy. For
Yeah.
comedians, you just don't get that.
well, it's great for comedians.
Yes, because, yeah.
Because the more anonymous the audience feels, the more they are free to laugh.
Exactly, and the more people there are, the more people that if 100 don't get the joke, who cares? There's there's another 4,099.
Yeah, but if 5,000 don't get the joke, you are in trouble.
Yes, and I'm assuming that happened. And we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with comedian Wendy Liebman here on Absolutely Jason Stuart. Please stay with us. We've got so much more to talk about.
You are watching T Radio V. Radio in TV.
Hi kids, Billy Francesca here for my brand new show at T Radio V, Advice from an Idiot, every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. So please call in and get some advice from someone who knows absolutely nothing about everything.
I'm Zoe Williams.
And I'm Dr. Mark Goulston. I'm Jeff Brown.
And we make up the Zoe What Morning Show. You can find us here on TRadiov.com every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I make you think.
He makes you laugh, and if I get a chance, I'll help you change.
Or make you cry with his attempts at humor.
Radio in TV.
Can you relate? We'll make it happen.
Look at Jeff. What you doing?
Were you mumbling to yourself?
Hey, back there mumbling.
To them. To them.
Yo, what's up? This your boy Kyle Master, and you're checking out T Radio V.
T Radio V.
T Radio V.
Hello, T Radio V. Love you guys. Radio in TV.
Radio in TV.
Hi, I'm Plastic Martyr, and I've got a new show called Just Like You on T Radio V. It's an inside look into my Hollywood life where I give you a sneak peek into a world of beauty, fashion, and fame. Illusions will be shattered. And of course, there's a little sex, hugs, and rock and roll. Be sure to check it out Wednesdays at 11, only on T Radio V.
You are watching T Radio V. Radio in TV.
Hey, we're back. Absolutely Jason Stuart with Wendy Liebman. We're talking comedy. So, America's Got Talent, did it change your career afterwards a bit? Did it give it a bump? Did a lot of calls come in?
You know what? No, but I found when I went to a club, more people came out because they had seen me on America's Got Talent. And when I get introduced on anything, they say America's Got Talent because people recognize that name. So in that sense, I feel like it's just a feather in a cap.
Yeah, but you've gotten some things from that. Come on. I'm assuming you're getting rebooked and people are, it's giving momentum. Are you doing clubs now?
I have to disagree.
Really?
I am still doing clubs, and I'm doing corporate dates. But as far as, I can't really point to any one thing that show has afforded me. But I'm so glad I did it, and
because you did you did Letterman the last year of his show.
I did not.
Didn't you?
No.
The last 2 years before show.
No.
I thought you had done one recently.
No, I did Jimmy Fallon before he got the Tonight Show when he was on the Late Late Show.
Oh, okay.
So.
God, I thought you had done You should have just said yes.
I don't like to lie, except when I'm on stage.
But you did 10 Lettermans.
I
mean,
did.
There's not a lot of people that have done that many.
Well, Jake Johansson and Brian Regan have done like 70.
Yeah, God. But
so.
Yeah, but you're like, I know people that have done one and that's it,
Well, I feel very, very fortunate to have done that.
And
plus, I did the Chuck Willery show when he had a talk show. But, yeah, I think you and I are both at a similar place where we're at this transitional place. I want to start acting, and well, you've been acting.
I've
for
been
a
acting
long
a long
time.
I started this whole process around 7 years ago, and decided that, not to pursue 20 years doing clubs was so physically and emotionally draining, and people don't realize that it's not the audiences are great. That's the fun part. It's just dealing with the club owners. And
morning radio has really gotten to me because.
Well, it's over.
Well, sometimes when I go on the road, I still do morning radio.
We used to do like 5-6 shows. Now there's maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah. Well, when I did Palm Springs recently, when I did,
you did
Fantasy.
Fantasy Springs.
Springs. I did like 6 radio shows.
Oh my God! Well, then I'm so wrong. But on the road, we used to do so many, and I found that it was getting less and less because of social media, and everything became sort of national shows. So there wasn't as much local. But Palm Springs is becoming a different animal.
Hotbed.
Oh yeah. For middle-aged comedians.
But I found that doing morning radio kills me because I'm a night person, and so half the time I'm talking in my sleep in the middle of the morning, and I have no control over what I'm going to say. I did Fraser Smith's show recently, which is it was like at midnight, and it was the first time I was ever awake on a radio show.
His show's
and it was
great.
Kind of scary.
He's terrific.
Yeah, he's wonderful. He's going to do my show at Vitello soon.
Oh, he's terrific. I love him. I've loved him. An incredibly supportive guy. Very, very.
Yes.
So what is Letterman like? And does he ever talk to you?
I was bumped one time. I was bumped twice, actually. One time,
Which means you come back the next day and do it,
or when they decide. And I did get to go back. But one time, Arnold Schwarzenegger was playing basketball with a dog, and the segment went long. And so usually you don't see Letterman backstage, but I passed him in the hall, and he apologized. And I heard that was very magnanimous of him, because he didn't...
Not a people person.
Well, I don't know about that, but he didn't really... Like, I know when I did Jay Leno, he came into my dressing room beforehand and wanted me to feel comfortable. But, yeah, so it's just a different vibe. The best is Jimmy Fallon, because I did the Late Late Show, and he came into the dressing room, he kibitzed, he talked to my husband. He was amazing. So I've yet to do The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Do you want to?
I would love to. I'm going to try to get a set together.
And you've done Conan.
I've never been on Conan.
No?
No, although I know that the
Either
head
Conan?
writer, Brian Kiley, who's like an amazing stand-up comedian, one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I started with him in Boston.
Oh, wow.
And I think he's the head writer on Conan.
Oh, wow.
But no, never did Conan. But that's all right. I'm doing Jason Stewart right now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
So I was talking about Sheena East and Sheila E. before.
Oh, yeah. So tell us the Sheena Easton story.
Well, it's not about Sheena, but I used to open for people in Vegas, including Sheena. And, or maybe hers was in Atlantic City, but I opened for a lot of music acts earlier in my career. Ray Charles, I got to open for a couple of times. Julio Iglesias.
But Ray Charles?
Yeah, twice.
And what was he like?
Well, it's true. Like, he wanted to shake my hand and feel my wrist. That's how he could tell about a person,
really?
Allegedly.
Oh.
Yes. And both times, his manager said to me as soon as I got off stage, "So, what do you do for a living?" And that must be his, like, standard thing, because he did it twice over the years. So I got to open for Julio Iglesias. I got to open for the Smothers Brothers.
What were they like?
So nice. So I've opened for them twice over the years. So I used to work at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. And I was...
What did you do there?
I had a huge dressing room. I mean, just like... it was like the size of my apartment.
You were a headliner there?
No, I was opening for these acts, these music acts. And I was all by myself and just petrified. And I befriended the waiter. And he was this elderly gentleman, and he would tell me about his family, and he made me feel comfortable. And I just saw him over the years. Well, then 20 years went by, and one day I thought about him out of the blue. And don't know why, might have had a dream about him, don't know why. The next day, I was doing Jimmy Kimmel Live. And who walks into my dressing room but the waiter? And I'm like, what are you doing here? I just thought of you yesterday. He goes, "I'm in the band. My son is the band leader, Cleto."
Oh, my God.
And Cleto Sr. is in the band,
Oh
in
my
Jimmy
God.
Kimmel's band. So he used to tell me about his son, who was a musician.
Wow.
And that's like one of my favorite stories ever.
Oh, my
because
God.
Because
But that's so Jimmy Kimmel. I opened.
I know.
His sister opened for me.
Jill Bryan.
Yeah,
She's great.
Opened for me and at the Tropicana this last year, and she was just such a doll. And she was telling me about her brother. She said he is just that kind of guy.
Yeah, he includes the family.
I have to say that I probably like, of all the talk shows, I like his the best.
He's great.
What was his audience like?
Great. And his head writer, okay, here's another story. So when I first met my husband, he bought me
Tell everybody who your husband is.
My husband is Jeff Sherman. He wrote on a show called Boy Meets World. He's currently working on a movie with Shelley Wright and
But he's also
Kristen
the
Chenoweth.
Eloise. He did all the Eloise movies, didn't he? Or didn't he write those?
He wrote Au Pair.
Yes.
Au Pair movies.
The Au Pair, not the Eloise? Oh,
No,
so
I
it's
don't-
similar. Okay, forget that. I can't believe it.
But he's
Oh,
also the
God.
son of a composer, Robert Sherman, who, along with his brother, wrote a lot of the music for Disney.
So he's sort of Hollywood royalty.
Yeah, and my husband inspired the song Spoonful of Sugar, but that's a long story. So my husband bought me a fake diamond ring, Like,
I love it.
I know. I mean, it was like a joke. And we were paying for it, and the woman, as she's like doing the transaction, she goes, "Do you want to buy this book?" It was a bookstore on Tahunga in Studio City. And it was called The Pop-Up Book of Phobias. And we were like, no, that's funny. Like, you would open it up, and it would be like a dentist drill or a spider or a tall building. And it was a pop-up book. And we were like, no, that's all right. We're just going to buy the fake wedding ring. So literally the next day we fly to a gig. And it's the first gig he came with me to. It was Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. I only bring him to the best places. It was a place called Bananas.
Oh, I've heard of that club.
And I'm talking to the opening act, or the middle act. And I go, how long have you been doing comedy, blah, blah, blah. He goes, well, I've been doing it 8 years, but I also just wrote a book called The Pop-Up Book of Phobias. And my husband and I look at each other. It was like the next day, like literally. So he gave us the book. Anyway, now he's...
Now you have 2 copies.
No, we didn't buy it. Right. But he is now one of Jimmy Kimmel's 2 head writers, Gary Greenberg.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's such a small world.
Well, for us it is, in the comedy world.
And Gary Greenberg is hilarious.
I mean, I can't tell you how many sitcoms I got on because of comedian friends, from Drew Carey to The Norm Show to George Lopez to, all these shows that I did. Damon Wayans, of course. They were all so kind to me, and it was
through stand-up.
Oh yeah, Jim Vallee, who just all these.
His dad just turned 94.
I know. I saw him the other day at the Cleaners. We live in the same. I see Jim all the time because we live in the same neighborhood. Yeah, and I just saw his wife Maggie. I was at the premiere for the Brothers Grisby, the new Sacha Baron Cohen movie. I was at the premiere on the red carpet. Can you believe it?
Really?
Yeah, that's what you get when you get a publicist. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back here on Absolute Jason Stuart with Wendy Liebman. Please stay with us for more Hollywood stories and name dropping.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hey, what's up? I am Scott.
And I am Ken. We are not the Chemical Brothers, but we are the Crystal Method. And you are watching T Radio V.
Radio V?
Radio inside of TV.
Oh my God, I love it.
Keep it locked. You are the bomb. Mwah.
What better way? I can't think of a better intersection than radio and TV.
Right?
Hey, T Radio V. Thomas Sadowski, what's up?
T Radio V.
I love T Radio V.
Because we need more kids watching TV.
Hey guys, this is Chriselle Stiles. Hi, I'm Stassi.
I'm Joel David Moore.
I'm Frank Infante.
Hey man, this is Richie Ramone. What's up out there?
I'm Laura Samoza.
I'm Sterling Gardner.
And we are Between the Sheets every Monday here, 3 p.m., TRadioV.com.
T Radio V.
That's right. It's T Radio V, radio in TV. What is that face?
She wants to see our hands.
That's radio in TV. Wah, 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 wah.
We're not a couple.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hey, we're back at Absolute Jason Stuart with Wendy Liebman, and we're talking about me doing a vision board.
No, can I tell you, I did a vision board 5 years ago and forgot about it. And then I was packing to move, and I found it. And what I found on the vision board made the hair on the back of my neck stand up, because, actually the hair on the top of my head stand up, because I was moving into a house that looked very similar to the house that was on the vision board.
Oh, wow.
And I hadn't thought of it actively. It was so bizarre. And on the vision board said a Keurig machine, and I since got one.
A what machine?
Like that coffee machine with the individual. That was kind of a joke.
Oh.
So. Never mind. But anyway, we do need to make a vision board.
All right. So you're going to invite me over to your new house, and I'll come and do a vision board?
Okay.
It's up to you. If you don't invite me, they're going to know on this show. I'm going to talk about
it
until you invite me
All right,
over.
I'm going to invite you over.
Yeah.
We'll make a plan before I leave here.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I got to do a vision. Are you going to bring all this stuff? Like
I will get all the
accoutrement?
Magazines and paste.
Oh, my
and,
gosh.
we can just go on the internet and find pictures that we... But it's also words. Like, I also wrote down green. And, I cut words out of magazines, like green and healthy.
Oh, green meaning more, yeah.
Yeah, more like green living.
So let me ask you your take on what's going on now in politics. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Definitely a Democrat or Republican. I know already. But
I am voting for Donald Duck.
You're definitely a Democrat.
He's the only president. He'll be the only president to not wear pants, if we're not counting Bill Clinton. But
what do you think about what the Republicans are doing? I mean, it seems insane.
I think politics is too political. Like, I am going to write in Jason Stewart for president.
I think it's got to be Streisand.
Really?
Oh, Barbara, yeah. Second Jew. My father would roll over in his grave if I don't vote for Bernie, and I love Bernie.
Why?
Because he's Jewish.
Yeah, but that's like saying I should vote for Hillary just because she's a woman.
But that's my dad.
And I went to her college.
That's my dad. We had to support the Jews, and I love Bernie, but but Hillary is the smartest person in the room. And
but
right
so
now,
why do you feel like you need to vote
it's a very
against
hard,
your heart?
It's very hard because I believe in everything that he's saying, but I think she has a better path. I mean, First Lady, 8 years. Senator, 8 years. Secretary of State, 4 years. Lawyer, started with, helping the Children's Defense Fund. Started the idea of us getting a new medical plan. She has really fought the fight. And there's really nothing you can say about her that hasn't already been said. This woman has been ripped to shreds. There's always somebody suing her. They make it sound like it's something new. It doesn't matter what she does. This has been her whole career, and she hasn't backed down. So I'm thinking to myself, who else can fight those fucking Republicans?
Wait, is there a presidential election going on right now?
I think so.
If there is one, I cannot believe there's another debate on. It's like,
I can't watch
just
them
shut
anymore.
the fuck up and do something already. That's how I feel.
Well, we're starting incredibly early. I mean,
but have there ever been that many debates?
I don't. If they have, we haven't watched them or paid attention.
It's been a circus watching the Republican.
Oh, and
debates.
last thing with them talking about their penis size.
I think Hillary should talk about her vagina.
Yes, I think so too. She should just wear it on her head.
It's a mockery of our political system. And then you go, well, why can't we just do it like we vote for American Idol? Like, just get call in.
I think that would be great.
First of all, I think Election Day should be a national holiday.
Oh, yes.
Because so many people can't vote because
they can't get
they're
off work.
Working.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy that it's not.
And, yeah, that's all I have to say about politics.
You're not political at all?
Well, I feel political. I don't like talking politics because I don't want to make people dislike me any more than they do. I don't want to give people another reason to dislike me.
You are one of the most likable people I've
no,
ever met in my entire life.
Not according to my stepchildren.
Tell me about the kids.
Well, I have 2 stepsons. They just started saying things like, I don't have to listen to you, you're not my mother, because they hear my husband saying that to me and they think it's okay. But honestly, they're almost 21 and 25 years old.
And one of them plays the guitar and writes songs.
And Alex Sherman, he's playing this Saturday night, March 12th, at the Pig and Whistle at 8 o'clock. He is phenomenal. I'm a little biased because I'm his stepmom and I watched him like from the time he picked up the guitar. but he has been compared to Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, in his like musical style and artistry. He's phenomenal. I don't understand one of his lyrics, but I know that he inherited the musical gene from his grandfather and his father. So.
And the other one?
And Ryan, he is in college in upstate New York, and he's studying to be a computer scientist. And I think he's working on an app, like every.
Has he made the Wendy Liebman app?
No. I don't know what that would be.
It would be a picture of you, and go to your website and.
Oh no! We need like a real app, like. Words with Friends. Do you play Words with Friends?
No.
I play Words with Friends with strangers.
I don't even know what Words with Friends is.
It's like Scrabble, but like
you have to be able to spell. Honey, I was so busy.
Y-E-S.
I was busy trying to be a star as a kid, and stars don't have to spell because other people will be doing it for us.
Really?
Oh yeah, I was.
But don't you have to read a script and?
Yeah, but you don't have to spell anything.
Oh, you could sound it out.
I'm this close to retarded. I went to school in Los Angeles. I danced in a circle. I wore a tie-dye shirt. They gave me a diploma. That was
really. I went to high school on Long Island. I was a cheerleader. I wasn't on the squad. I was just very positive about everything. But no, I took half of my senior year. I went to dance and drama school. It was like a vocational school.
But why haven't you really pursued your acting career then?
I've gotten beaten down because I think when I first moved out to LA, I remember I was driving here today and I passed one of the studios, and I remember flying to LA from Boston to audition for a role, and the role was like for somebody named Lucy or something, and I remember I signed in as Lucy. I thought I was so clever. But I was sent out for comedic roles, but really most of my roles early on were serious, like when I did theater when I was younger. So I was very beaten down.
But you were on Dr. Katz, which was sort of...
Yeah, but I was just playing myself.
But still, that's still acting. You're doing...
And that was animated, so you didn't see me.
No, but you were on Larry Sanders.
But I played myself.
But that's sort of incredible, because that's still acting.
Well, I know in my heart that I can act, and that's what I'm going to put on my vision board when you come over.
I love this.
Because I want to be on Law and Order and The Good Wife. And
The Good Wife is canceled, and the only Law and Order that's on is a sex crime one.
SVU,
which is the best one.
They say it takes 10,000 hours to become really good at something, so I'm an expert at Law and Order. I have my PhD in SVU. Boom, boom.
Oh, okay.
We're getting a signal.
I got to say, when I look at the resume of things that you've done, it's so impressive.
You're so prepared.
No, because I think that people just love you in terms of what you've done as a comedian. I mean, you really are so revered. You really are when it comes, and I hate to say this when it comes to women comedians. You won the award.
I did.
The American Comedy Award for Best Comedian that year, and I was there the year you won. And I was so moved because I knew, because number one, you're a friend and I adore you. Even though we don't see each other a lot, I really have a great deal of love for you.
I remember seeing you there then.
Yeah.
And you were there with a female comedian.
Sheila Kay.
Yeah, Sheila.
What was that like for you to win that award?
I had
because
been
it's
nominated.
Comedy Club comedian.
I'd been nominated 2 years before that and didn't win, so I really wasn't expecting to win. And it was just thrilling, really thrilling. And Lily Tomlin and Roseanne gave me the award.
Oh, man.
So, you know, I look back at these things and I get nervous thinking about them. So,
really?
Yeah.
Why?
I do. Because, I don't know. I was just I was very nervous getting on stage.
Oh, my God. I would have been a wreck.
But I look at everything that I've done on that resume that you're looking at, and I go, this is all cumulative. And so what it has afforded me is to be able to book my show at Locally Grown Comedy at Vitello's. And the other comedians.
Once a month?
It's once a month.
What's the next date?
It's April 19th. It's a Tuesday night. It's $10 plus 2 drinks.
April, no March?
Well, we just did it last night,
Oh,
March
okay.
8th. So it's just a really great time, and the food's really good too. And what I found was comedians will do it for me.
Well, because they'll do it for you because of who you are, and people don't understand that. And we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about the loyalty of comedians. We'll be back in just a moment here with Wendy Liebman on Absolutely Jason Stewart. Stay with us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You are watching T Radio V, radio and TV.